Hello, good day everyone. Today we are going to expose in another topic wherein it focuses about the grading system in K-12 basic education program together with my partner Miss Catherine Rose Dolormente. So our goal and learning objectives for this lesson is we are going to identify on how we are going to solve the grades of our students in the near future kung magtuturo na po tayo as a teacher. And it is very important for us to know this and manipulate on how we are going to give the final output, the final outcome of the grades of our students. So when we say K-12, it is passed by our late President Benigno Simeon Aquino III during his administration in order for us to uplift the education standard here in the Philippines and also to prepare us as a learners on how to become knowledgeable when it comes to our education system. And right now, we are going to proceed in this topic in what and how we are going to learn in this lesson. So what is the DepEd K-12 grading system? So according here, the K-12 basic education uses a standard. When we say standard, it is a level of quality attainment of learners and competency-based grading system. These are found in the curriculum guides. So lahat po ng ating mga ibabasihan, lahat po ng ating ituturo, lahat po ng ating i-grade sa ating students are written in the curriculum guides. Hindi po pwede na gawa-gawa lang po tayo as a teacher. Okay? All grades will be based on the weighted row score of the learner's summative assessment. So later on po, malalaman po natin kung ano ibig sabihin ng ating weighted row score na sinasabi. So the minimum grade needed to pass a specific learning area is 75 written in the report card. So we all know that 75 is a passing grade. But attaining more than 75 is the best. Kasi doon nasusukat kung may nalalaman at very excellent ba yung performance ng isang learners, isang estudyante. Okay? How is learner progress recorded and computed? As a teacher, paano po natin i-record yung performance ng ating estudyante and how we are going to compute it? So, in kindergarten, as you can see, checklist and anecdotal records are used instead of numerical grades. Doon po sa ating mga kindergarten, hindi po sila nagbe-base sa grades ng isang estudyante. As you observe, yung mga kindergarten natin, meron din silang mga libro, may mga checklist din siya, wherein to assess them on how they are going to manipulate. For example, in the book, we are going to teach the students or our kindergarten students kung paano nila i-label yung color, numbers, and then if the teacher will see and observe the performance of the students, and doon po siya mag-base ng kanyang records. And sabi dito, anecdotal records. When we say anecdotal, it is the personal observation and monitoring of a teacher sa kanyang estudyante. That's why yung ibang teacher dyan, nagbibigay pa silang ng stars sa mga kamay ng estudyante in order to motivate them also. Para gawin nila yung kanilang mga tasks. And yun po yung binabasihan ng isang teacher. It based on the anecdotal records and they are not using numerical grades. Okay? And that is for kindergarten. Okay? And how about to grade 1 to 12? Paano po nare-record at nakukompute po yung grade on? Sabi dito, students to produce written work and to demonstrate what they know and can do through performance tasks. May mga binabasihan po yung ating mga teacher dyan. As what I have said, it is written into the curriculum guides, based doon sa different components na outcome ng isang estudyante. And later on, malalaman talaga natin kung ano yung mga different components at binabasihan. How to compute for final grades in general average and DepEd K-12 grading system. Remember, it is focuses only for grade 1 to 12. The step 1 here is grades from all students' work are added up. Lahat po ng mga ginagawa ng output ng estudyante will be combining all. From the result in the total score for each component. Ano po yung mga each component natin? We have this written work, performance task, and quarterly assessment. No, yung mga written work po natin dyan, it includes the quizzes, no, and yung ating performance, lahat po ng activity, demonstration, and at the same time, yung quarterly assessment, yung examination natin. And always remember, these components is mayroon po yung binabasihan sa pagbibigay ng percent. Hindi po ibig sabihin, as a teacher, lagay lang tayo ng written work dyan na 10%, 20% sa performance task. No, it should be followed to the rules and to the curriculum guides. We have this step 2, the sum. No, when we say the sum, the total amount for each component is converted to the percentage score. So the question, how we are going to compute this? No, the percentage score divided to the row score by the highest possible score, then multiply the quotient by 100%, and this is shown below. This will be the illustration on how we're going to compute. Now, the percentage score is equals to the learner's total row score. Lahat po ng mga output ng ating mga estudyante, i-combine and it will divide po din sa lahat ng mga overall score. And then, i-multiply po natin yan siya in 100%. So, next, the step 3, percentage score are then converted to weighted scores. No, i-convert po natin po sa weighted scores. And how? So, we have this formula, weighted score. No, the percentage score, i-multiply po natin siya sa weight of component. Itong weight of component, based po ito sa percent na binigay doon sa curriculum guide. So, this will be the weight of components for grade 1 to 10. As you can see, no, written works must be 30% in language, APSP, 40% in science, math, MAPI, EPP, TLE is 20%. Same with also sa performance task at quarterly assessment. No? Magkakaiba-iba po yung percent, and this will be the basis should possess the teacher and follow in the near future, and paano po yung i-compute sa isang estudyante. This will be the weight of the components for senior high school. As you can see here, no, the written work also, the performance task, quarterly assessment is different designated in the different subjects, in the different track. Right now, no, this will be the quarterly grade for each learning area is written in the report card of the students. So we have this sample class record. In the table, we have this different components, the written work, performance task, and the quarterly assessment. And as you can see on the side, we have this highest possible score. Ito po yung overall score po ng ating mga activities. And we have this learner A, learner B, and learner C. They are the different students. And as you can see dyan, may nakita kayong numbers. For example, sa learner A, nakakuha siya ng 18 score out of 20. Sa learner B, 19, and sa learner C is 9. Lahat po ng mga activity dyan, from 1 to 7 activity, is ito total po yan siya, at i-convert to percentage score. And we all know the percentage score is the learner's total row score divided to the highest possible score and times to 100%. And pag nakuha po natin yung percentage score, i-convert po natin, di ba, sa weighted score. But paano yun siya kunin? No, percentage score, ito times po natin siya doon sa weight of components. Depends to the percent given in the specific components. And i-combine po lahat po ng result from different components, from written work, for performance task, and quarterly assessment. As you can see doon po sa mga highlighted box natin, no, ipa-plus po yan siya lahat. And magkakaroon po tayo ng initial grade. And yung initial grade na yan, may ipa-follow po na transmitted yung ating mga teacher in the curriculum guide. And the quarterly grade of the learner A is 90, the learner B is 88, and the learner C is 71. Yan po yung process na paggawa ng isang grade ng ating estudyante.
Good day, everyone. I am Catherine Rose Dolor-Menten. For today's discussion, I will discuss on you on how to compute a grade. So, first step, get the total scores of each component. So it is composed of written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment. So enable for you to proceed to the next steps, you need to total all the scores that gain of the students, and also total the scores of the highest possible scores of that task. So ganito din gagawin sa written work, sa performance task, and also sa quarterly assessment. So let's proceed to the second step. So divided the row scores of the student to the highest scores, and then multiply to the quotient, which is 100%. So, for example, if Maria in the written works got 45 total scores, and the highest possible scores is 160. So, you're going to do is 140 divided by 160 and then multiply to 100, so that the total number is 90.63. It will serve as the percentage score. So repeat the process in the performance task and the quarterly assessment. So it is depend to the student gain scores and all tasks and the possible highest score. So next, all you have to do is convert percentage score to weighted score. So multiply the percentage score by the weighted score of the component, indicate here in table 4 and 5. So for example, the written works for grade 4 is composed of 30%. So kanina sa percentage score ni Maria is 90.63. So that enable for you to multiply the 90.63 and the equivalent percentage of the task, which is 0.30. It's because in the written works nga, sabi ko kanina, composed of 30%. So the process are the same. All the same for in the performance task and quarterly assessment, but one thing is different. It is depend on the grading system percentage and the different tasks and assessment. So for example, in written works, it is only 30%, in the performance task, 50%, and the quarterly assessment is 20%. So, nakadepende siya sa percentage. So, let's proceed to the fourth step. So, add the weighted scores of each component. The result will be the initial grades of the student. So, for example, Maria got 27.90 in a written work, 41.64 in a performance task, and 16 in a quarterly assessment. So all you have to do is to total all the scores and able for you to have a initial grade. So the total scores is 84.86, and after that transmitted the initial grades using the transmulation table and the appendix B here, so that Maria get initial grade is 84.86. It is transmitted and it is equivalent to 90. So the grades of Maria in the first quarter should be 90. So it is reflected in the report card. So let's proceed to the second. So how about for the grades computed at the end of the school year for the kindergarten student? So there will be no numerical grades in kindergarten, so it is only represented using the checklist and the student portfolios that is the base of the teacher. So how about for grade 1 to grade 10? So the computation should be first the first grading grade or the first quarter grade, the second quarter grade, the third quarter grade, and the fourth quarter grade divided into 4, which is it is the total number of quarter in a year. So for example, Maria in Filipino subject got 80 in first grading or first quarter, 89 in the second quarter, 86 in the third quarter, and 84 for the fourth quarter. So the total is 339. So divided by 4, which is the 4 quarter in a year. So the result will be 84.75. It should be round off and it will become 85 as Maria's final grades in Filipino. So how about in computing the general average of the student? So it should be all the final grades will be multiplied, and after that divided by the number of learnings areas in a grade level or the number of subject in a year. So how about in a grade 12? grade 11 to grade 12, it should be the same process. But the one thing na magkaiba is in the senior high school, it should be have A2 semester. So, hinati sa dalawa to compute the grades sa final grades in first semester is the only have E2 quarter, which is the third quarter, and the second quarter. So the same process, um, um, add the third quarter grades, final grade, and then the fourth quarter grade, and then divided into two, which is the number of quarter and a semester. And also to compute the general average of for the semester, it should be also the same process as what I discussed a while ago. So the total number of grades in all learning areas divided into the number of the subject or the number of learning in one semester. So how about the learner's progress reported? So the summary of learner's progress is shown quarterly to parents and guardians to the parents and teacher conference. So in which the report card is discussed. So the grading scales, which corresponding descriptors, which shown here in table number 10. So makikita natin that 75 to 100 are the passing grades and below 75 is meaning failed. So meaning that the student didn't meet expectation. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learn a lot. Thank you.